Good evening, everyone. Yes, I am 3rd EMGL Sharmaine, and it's a pleasure to meet you all. We've got through a long way to come here, and it's really my dream to be in this place. So I'm so glad to finally see you all face to face. Before I start, I would like to thank God for making a way for me, to Pastor and Samanim for bringing me here, and to all the members who helped with all the process and offering. Thank you so much. It was 2008 when I first encountered the Korean missionaries when they were looking for students to support. But it was actually 2011 when I first started attending the church. In this community, I experienced the first summer Bible school, and I also experienced the Korea Worship Festival for the first time. During the 2011 Korea Worship Festival, I had a dream. First, I saw myself in another country doing missions. Second, I saw myself beside Pastor, translating his sermons for people to better understand it. Now that I look back on my life, I'm wondering what it would be like if I did not meet the church. I was so blessed, even though I am just a member back then. I became more blessed when I became one of the 3rd EMGL. What amazed me is that when I received a letter from my Korean father and mother saying that they actually chose me, because even before I'm not yet an EMGL, I was already praying for Elder Yun to become my Korean father. I was so thankful and promised to do my best to become a person that they could be proud of. Fast forward. Mission. This is the first thing I thought of after graduation. I really wanted to commit myself in summer Bible school and Korea worship festivals and other church ministries as a way of saying thank you as well to our Korean missionaries. I was expectant and hopeful during those times. Even though my mother was pressuring me to get a job, I was fulfilled doing what I want, and that was way back 2019. 2020 came. I finally passed my licensure examination for teachers. I prayed and prepared for this, even though I don't have much time to review because of missions. So during those times, I hope the people who supported me are proud of me. I was excited about what is in store for me ahead. But 2 months later, the Philippine lockdown started. I still remember we were preparing for Cornerstone's class for the next day. We were in church that time. But suddenly, kids are no longer allowed to go out. They cannot come to church, and so we are. We were locked in our homes. In the first weeks, it was so comfortable. I got to rest and go back to my hobbies. As an introvert, the situation is in my favor. However, one day I woke up and lost interest in everything. I found myself lying on my bed the whole day without doing anything. I'm just staring at my phone, jumping from one SNS to another. Then I will get bored, and so I will sleep, and then after waking up, I'll just go back looking through my Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or YouTube once again. This activity continued for so long. I spent most of my nights questioning what is God's plan for me. What is my purpose? Why did He allow me to be in a place that doesn't give me fulfillment? Why is my expectation so far from reality? I don't know exactly the reason, but I got really, really sad. My future seems so dark. I'm afraid of the thought that I will be stuck forever in our house. I'm afraid that maybe God's plan for me is just until my graduation. And now, I thought that He left me because I can no longer hear Him. Every time I read my Bible and do my QT, He doesn't manifest Himself unlike before. I became afraid for evenings to come because I always cry to sleep. And I'm overthinking everything about my life. I'm wondering why people I see seems to get by. I feel lonely because nobody is asking me how am I doing. My deceiving mind keeps saying nobody cares for me. And so I started to drift away from people. When people try to contact me, I purposely ignore them. Until now, I have lost interest with other people. I find it hard to approach with others and maintain good relationship with them. Because of having no real connections, I felt really lonely. Aside from that, I was also pressured because my family keeps telling me to get a job. And so I did. I never liked the call center job in the first place, but to fulfill my parents' desires, I got in. Being a call center agent is never on my list because I'm not fond of taking phone calls, let alone talking with strangers. Those moments were bleak. I'm like a robot who is forced to sleep by day so I can work at night. Even though I have a license as a professional teacher, customers who don't know me shouted and cursed me, and it hurts my ego. That's when things become worse. Dreadful nights continue to pass by. I hate my job, and I hate talking to people. That's why every time I finish my shift, you will never see me talk. I dreaded everything I am experiencing, and I am embarrassed to what I'm about to say. One day, I was with my church friends. We have with Gansanim Jessa, Gansanim Josie, Minister Angelo, and with Via. We were in a very beautiful place in an overlooking. That is a really high place, and we were sitting together near the cliff while singing random songs. We were having fun that time. My mind tells me to jump. I actually tried. I tried getting close to the very edge to see how high am I. I'm thinking of the possibilities. Will it hurt if I jump down? Will I feel it? Do I have the courage to do it? What will happen next if I jump down? Will people be sad or it'll be better if I'm gone? I think that I have no purpose anyways. But God, I'm speechless. I can't find the right words to describe him. Because when I finally decided to try to jump, I remember one of my favorite songs, Lord, I offer my life to you. It kept playing in my mind until we agreed to finally leave the place and go back home. From there, nobody knows about this thought except Jessa, which I shared to her just a month ago. Until now, I still clearly remember that day. The sunset is so amusing. The warm rays of the sun gently caressing my face while the warm wind blows. It was a beautiful day, but I have such an ugly thought. I'm thankful to God for holding me despite my stubbornness and rebelliousness. I have decided to turn my back away from Him, leave the church, and go to a very far place where nobody knows me to escape. But through that situation, I realized that He never left me at all. That is why I'm standing in front of you. I'm still having episodes sometimes, and it's still hard for me to deal with people. I still do resist Him. And as a Gansanim, I feel sorry and guilty to say that. But I believe God is doing something in me. He keeps showing me His grace and showering me with blessings. Did you know that long time ago, even before the pandemic, I'm imagining myself standing in front of the Korean members here in our beautiful church and share my testimony. How God worked on my prayers and how God moved in my life unexpectedly. Just thinking about it gave me joy, excitement, and expectation. However, when I heard that we'll go to Korea and share testimony, I became very nervous. I don't know what to share anymore. I keep on asking myself what to share to the members. I really can't think of anything anymore because I think that there's no grace and blessing in my life. But since the first day I arrived here, I experienced many new things that I haven't experienced in the Philippines. I am impressed and felt sorry by the members' kind gestures towards us. I keep on asking myself, why is it easy for them to share their things with me, while for me it's so difficult to give? How are they able to invite a stranger like me into their house, even though it's our first time meeting that day? I don't even want my close friends to come over our house because I think that it's a bother. And then, how can they spend their whole day with us despite being busy? Well, I cannot even spare a minute to answer the people's messages. I'm so thankful to God because He is teaching me through my experiences here in this country. Every moment I spend here brings me peace and healing. I keep on telling them, especially Jessa, that I'm afraid to go back to the Philippines because I might return to my old self. But the grace I receive here is giving me the courage to continue living and fulfill God's dream for me and pass the same kindness and generosity the members showered to me. When I go back to the Philippines, I don't know what will happen next, but I want to carry what I learned from here. Despite the fear, I will go. Despite the doubt, I will obey. And despite the uncertainty, I will follow. Thank you for listening. God bless you all and have a great night.